Dream that you dreamed of once in a lullaby. Ooh, calm down, things ain't really that bad. If you're watching me, it means you got Wi-Fi, power, electricity, water, and time to play on the internet. Ooh, it ain't really an apocalypse. It ain't no zombies out in the scripts, whatever scripts are. I love to sing in the morning. I can't sing. Where trouble melts like lemon drops. Cuckoo virus melt like lemon drops. High above the chimney tops when the lawyers go to court, which is what I want to talk about today. Find me somewhere in the Zen garden. Bluebirds fly. Bluebird. I need to find some bluebirds. Don't bluebirds make people happy? I gotta find some bluebirds. Hang on. Then the bluebirds would make Americans happy. Hang on. Bluebirds. Bluebirds make what's that the movie K-Pax where the bluebirds make the crazy people happy? Crazy people. I got your bluebird. I'm downloading it right now. Make it happy so you won't lose your damn mind. After the election, when the apocalypse gon' get hot, it's gonna get dark. Good morning, everybody. Let me find a bluebird river. Sometimes you have to sing happy music. Somewhere over the rainbow. It's always a rainbow. Sun is always up there. You just can't see it. You gotta look a little harder. A couple things I want to talk about today. Good morning. Ooh, goodness. I like his. Who is this? Kwame Kimawabu Oli. I like his version. His rendition is nice. Somewhere over the cuckoo virus. Let me ask y'all a question. Hang on. What did I ask y'all this morning? I asked y'all something. Oh, let me change the cuckoo virus. I have to modify the reality that I do each morning with a green screen. Same way your news does it. And make it look like the bluebird is actually in the picture. Hang on. Make it like the cuckoo virus is really happening. You know, somebody was actually still trying to debate me on the thing, and I don't know why they debate me on the thing about these silly masks. Hang on, we're gonna put the cuckoo virus right on the Zen thing. What's this little Zen thing right here? We're gonna put the cuckoo bird right. That cuckoo bird, the bluebird. We'll put the bluebird right there. Good morning, everybody. I wonder if YouTube is back up. Probably not. I'm still uploading stuff over there. I probably shouldn't be. Hang on. Truthful information. Where is the chat? Right there. Okay. That should come in a minute. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Peace be still. That's another song. Everybody should sing still happy music because it's happy times because you're here. People ain't happy out there burning the city down. Ooh, did y'all see that city that they defunded the police? What city was that? What city they actually defunded the police? They actually tried. I told y'all that was a bad idea. Don't do that. Put that one back in the box. Put that one back in Pandora's box. You're taking it too far. We understand that you're upset. We understand that the natives are restless. But peace be still. The problem is not. No, peace don't steal. Actually, you know what? I understand y'all stealing, but don't steal. Peace be still. Okay, peace be still. Do not defund the police. The problem is not the po-po. The problem is the people you vote for. Understand that? The laws, those are the problems. I had a great conversation this morning. Great conversation with a mechanic. Because the horse was acting up this morning. She wasn't galloping how she should. She started doing some of that. I only got it last week, so I had to stop the mechanic. He had a Trump hat on. One had a Trump mask on. I was so happy. It was so happy to be in a place where people, only certain people wore the mask. Only certain people. Most of the people there were just like, we ain't wearing this mask. This is ridiculous. We're sick of this. I was like, yeah, I've been sick of it from the beginning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. A couple things I'm going to talk about. We need to talk about these lawsuits of governors. Got to get these governors out. Violating the Constitution everywhere. It's a bad idea. But it's a good idea to a degree because you're showing people, like I was talking to them this morning, we ain't free. It's a great time to be alive. Because the lies aren't sticking no more. The lies that you actually have a government. You ain't got a government, you got a gooberment. That's right, you're told what to do by international corporations. Oh, that's not a cuckoo bird. That's a robot. No, you know what? Who was that? Riley, you know birds aren't real. What is the name of that hashtag that's going over? Used to go around, birds aren't real. Good morning, Moonass. Good morning, Lynn. If we weren't, we wouldn't be buying into their bull. People, Lynn, they double doses. They want another dose. They buying the bull. They want another plate. They want another lockdown. So that's why I'm glad that these lawyers are starting these lawsuits. There's one good one. I'm gonna have to show you a little bit of this morning. Interviewed one of the lawyers about to sue the governor. What was this, Ohio? Somebody sent this to me. Ohio. I want to talk about that. We can talk about, I'm still looking into the Dogons. My goodness, did they know too much. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing this morning? Y'all doing good? Good morning. Good morning, Yvonne. It's science. Riley's on the science already, early in the morning. Ooh, Riley, I saw part of your video yesterday with Sean Yankee. Y'all didn't watch that. Y'all, Riley and her sister seen a UFO. Seen one of them Rothschild Rockefeller aircraft. Or did you see the real? I think you said you saw the real one because the alien got out that joker. So I might have to finish watching that. I was watching that, and I had some things I had to do for slavery last night. So I'm going to finish watching that. Thank you, Riley. Love mechanics in general. Yeah, mechanics are just really good people, Patricia. They're just people. I like people, just people to people to people. You know, the funny thing, Patricia, I'm pretty sure he's a Trump voter because they were playing Fox News. They were playing Fox News. And so, yeah, you know me. I'm going to make the best of the situation. I did not go in. I went in there, and at first I had on my cuckoo virus. I had my cuckoo virus bandana on because I got to get this car fixed. I'm not playing around. I'm not playing cuckoo virus when it's time to do things. If y'all scared of the cuckoo virus, damn it, I'm scared too. Be careful, stay 6 feet. Hey, 6 feet, bro. If they're playing MSN, and MSN the left channel. What's left news? And so Fox News was playing. So of course, you know me, I went in there, man, I'm making the best of the situation. I said, that Fox News playing, hey, Fox. I said, you know what? Fox is the only station that's kind of doubting the cuckoo virus. You know, it's the only one. He's like, yeah, man. He didn't have his mask on. So, you know, Patricia, what I did. I said, hey, man, you know, because one of his employees came through the back door, too. He didn't have a mask on, too. And I was like, you know what? Because I got this bandana there. I know that I look all like Antifas. I look like Antifas. I look like I just came back from a rally burning down some cities or something. I said, I need to let them know who I am, Patricia. So of course I was like, you know, Fox News, the only one that's kind of telling the truth. And his brother came out the back, he didn't have a mask. I said, man, do I need to wear this? Are we good? Are we scared of the virus here? We scared of the air? He's like, man, you don't have to wear that. I was like, all right, brother, good. Let's get it down, ZZ Top. Let's talk about it. I had to make sure I ain't paying a lot for this muffler, Patricia. Have you ever seen that commercial? Y'all remember that commercial in the 80s? I am not paying a lot for this muffler. Look, I will be a Trump voter if I need to. Damn it, we got to get jiving, voting, and that's what's going to get the car fixed. That's going to get the pony some new shoes. Damn it, let's roll with it. So I was good. I had a great conversation with him. And he was a calm one, Patricia, because he was kind of like, yeah, you know what? We put Trump in, and, you know, we'll put him back in again. I said, I know y'all are. You ain't got to worry about that. They ain't jive vote. Didn't he just say that 200 million people died of the cuckoo virus? I was like, y'all solid. You got it, man. You got it on lock. And I'm trying to feel him out, trying to see if I can show him that I'm actually not a government person. I don't need a mask. So I started walking him down the adult path, like, you know, this is weird, man. We have a for-profit vaccination company telling the Americans what to do. What kind of government do we got if you got for-profit international vaccination corporations and megalomaniacs telling the U.S. government what to do? He's like, yeah, this makes no sense, man. This makes no sense. And you kind of walk through it. The funny thing is, and then he conceded. I think I told a similar story like this before. Like, it's a weird, interesting psychological thing that people do. When they realize that you're not a threat, they get honest. So he was honest. He's like, yeah, man, but I don't like Trump when he says stuff. I don't like how he calls people names. I don't like how he does this, blah, 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 blah. And he was going back and forth. That was a great conversation. Made me feel good because he's being honest. It just reinforces the thought that I'm having that we need to make sure that we're talking to people how we need to. How we need to. People be honest. You can have a great conversation with somebody being honest. If somebody sees you as a threat, they're going to lie, especially in America. So we watch Fox News together. We watch Fox. It was hard on my ears, but it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I'm going to be okay, Louie. I'm okay. I had to watch Fox News this morning. I had to try to get the pony fixed, so I was trapped. But it was a good conversation with him. He was real basic. He was just like, yeah, Constitution, Bill of Rights, sick of the mask stuff. So I'm going to talk about the lawyer stuff. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Got to get these states all sued up, which I think is a trap anyway, because we're going to assume they're going to go away. And in a whole new world order, there's not going to be anybody between us and them. They're going to defund the police. They ain't going to have them. Oh, what city was that? Did y'all see that? They defunded the police. Let me change the music. They defunded the police. Did y'all see that? They either they did or they came to the cusp, the precipice. And the brothers did exactly what they were supposed to do. Crime went through the roof. Yeah, you can defund the police, but you better think about whether or not you're living under artificial scarcity first. That might be a statistic that you need to check first. But it was in Portland. Where was that? Y'all see that? Somebody sent me a link this morning. That crime went through the roof. They're like, whoa. I'm not sure this is a good idea. Should we be defunding the police just yet? People had no food, been on lockdown for damn near 8 months. The businesses are failing. Even the millionaires out there riding, stealing Louis Vuitton bags. Look what city that is. Oh, and then the lady, somebody sent me a video. I'm just throwing stuff at y'all real quick, and I want to let this lawyer interview. Listen to the case. Anybody still believes in the cuckoo bombs? The lady who was watching her son playing football, and they called the police on her because she didn't have a mask on. They went and grabbed her, pulling her out the bleachers and stuff, and roughing her up. Man, big man, grown man, roughing her up. And I need you to think about it the correct way. Look at your skin. If your skin is dark, I want you to imagine it's a big white, big man, small little black lady. And, and if your skin, look down at your skin, look kind of pinkish, just imagine it's a little pink lady, little black lady. And a big black, just massive cop, just dragging her out the bleachers. Son trying to play football, see a cop abusing his mama. What's wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? See, if you picture, I tried to do, what was it, A Time to Kill? What's the name of that movie? At the end of the movie, he got everybody to picture that the child that was abused looked like them to get empathy. I'll show you the video. You might be a little surprised. And she wasn't going. Now, my son is playing football. She's fighting with the cop. He's fighting with her. And finally, he just figures the grown man ain't got nothing else to do. I'm going to abuse the woman more and tase her. He tased the hell out of her. I didn't see if she peed on herself or poo-poo, because that's what you do when they tase you. Does anybody think that this is okay? Like, do we have any more okayers? I'm not seeing many more people okay with like any of this, but I think there's a few out there. They dragged her off the thing with her son watching. I know I'm in the wrong dimension. If I was in the right dimension, let me ask you a question. If you were playing football, you was on the football team, you had turned around, you 17, 18, turn around, you eat your breakfast, you eat that square pizza for lunch, you drink your milk, kind of little beefy and burly, or even if you're not, you're ramped up on adrenaline, and you turn around and you see somebody, a man, grabbing your mother and dragging her out the bleachers, what would you do? I'll tell you what I'd do. I don't know. I probably don't even need to tell you. Listen, y'all, we do things we should not ever do. We are involved in doing so many things that we need to stop doing all those things right now. So I find that video. Because, yeah. Hey, go right here. Ooh, that's the first clip. I'm getting good. Hold on. see if I can see if I play. Sometimes it's stuck there and goes somewhere. Here we go. Here we go. Right here. Is it right here? I promise, tell you, recertify, verify, and vilify. All of that, even though that last word don't make no sense. If you drag my mama from a bench right now, this ain't even about being young. It's not. This is about principle. Principle. I promise you this. I promise and guarantee you this. You drag my mama anywhere, one of us ain't going home. I can promise you that. Most likely, both of us ain't going home. One of us going to prison, and the other one of us going 6 feet under. I promise you that. You not touching my mama at all. When I was 14, damn near now when I'm 29. I ain't got no time for that. I don't care how many of you are. I don't care how big you are. I don't care what kind of guns you got. I don't care if you got tasers, gas spray. I don't care if you got okra and oil that you will put okra in my mouth when I'm on the ground. It's a principle. You don't abuse women in my land. This is how I know I'm in the wrong dimension. You got grown men who feel that it's ever okay to lay their hands on a woman. Ever, ever. What kind of police would do that? But let me say this right here. Here you go right here. Yep, you already figured it out. Big burly black cop, somebody who just recently came from slavery and some abuse. And look how big he is versus this little lady. Look at this. What's wrong with you? You're an abuser. You live in a police state and you listen to the laws that you need to go ahead and quit your job and get the hell out of Dodge, right? There's no way on this planet. I think I would be homeless or die before I'd be a police officer. I think I'd be homeless or die before I'd be in the NSA. I'd be homeless or I'd die. I'd give up the ghost. I'd go somewhere else. I'd go out and swim out in the ocean, find a new country before I would ever abuse a woman. For anybody, for any reason. Let alone myself or government or law. It's ridiculous.
That's over a mask, really?
And might be her other son right there behind. Right in front of her kid.
That's unreal.
You know what?
It's a warning. You get a warning and then it's a $500 fine. You don't get arrested.
I don't think I can watch this. I don't think I can do it. I saw a part of it. I don't think I'm gonna watch the rest of it because I'm trying to keep bubbly. This is supposed to be peace be still, and I'm about to tell you that I'd not be still. I'm not that one. I'm the wrong one. I don't know why their indoctrination didn't set in me too well. It was only temporary. There's no way in hell, I don't care if I'm related to that woman or not, I'm gonna sit around and let no grown man put his hands on no woman. It's not gonna happen. I tell you what though, because I am a little bit of a hippie. Little bit. I try to use some of my comments. This is why I tell y'all that we need to fix the world now. Because I know me, and I know it's a little monster inside of it. You let him out, I just see red. When I get upset, I just see red, which is why I get upset about once every 10 years. About once a decade, I let myself get upset. But and I stay away from environments that's gonna piss me off. I would go down and I'd sit on that bench. See the bench right here? The bench right here. Let me put this behind me. This is what I would probably do. This is what I would do. Because the thing is, I know that I can't sit there. I know that's not gonna happen. Just, you see that bench right there? I'm gonna go sit on that bench right there. And I'm gonna say, listen, dude, I gotta tell you something. I know you're gonna keep holding her. Lady, calm down for a minute because I gotta tell this man something. All right? I gotta tell him something. So just stop struggling for a minute and let me tell him something. Dude, I gotta tell you. No, you probably gonna wanna hear this one. Brother, you wanna hear this one. You know, it's like, yeah, brother, you got my back, brother. Oh, no, I do not have your back. That is a woman. Okay, I gotta tell you something. See that little square black box that's on your belt right there, that one right there? Yeah, you're gonna wanna go ahead and pick that one up and cough it back up. You're gonna wanna do that. I'm gonna tell you, because I know me, and I wish I could control myself. I really do. I love you, bro. I love you. And I love that woman too. And the other security guard look like he camping security in front of you with the the purple shirt on, bro. He's not gonna stop me. I'm gonna tell you right now, I know me. And I know what I've been through. I grew up in the Washington, D.C. area. And my brothers went to the privilege school. I did not. Okay. When I flip, I'm a flip, and I'm gonna tell you this: if you keep manhandling that woman, I'm going to prison, or I'm gonna die. I'm gonna tell you that right now. There's no way in hell the rest of these men can sit here on these bleachers and watch you beat up that woman and abuse her and drag her off. I'm not gonna do that. So, what we gonna do here? I need you to take that black box. Go ahead and call your sergeant, because I know you got people you can respond to help you out with this. Because I'm gonna need you to be able to take her from here quickly. Because if she keeps struggling and I keep her calling out for help, I'm not a man that will sit here with the rest of these men on this bleacher and not do something. So please do that. And hopefully he would do it. Hopefully he would do it. And because my problem is I believe that everything I was taught in civics. I believed everything I was taught in church. I believe everything that most of it now, I take that church thing back. I believe a lot of what I was taught in church. When you are to bring war to my house, I'm supposed to respond. When you bring a level of violence against people who are not being violent against you, I'm supposed to respond. And I suppose that's the problem with consciousness and sentience and viewing everybody on the planet as being in your families. You don't sit around like a punk or a coward. Oh, look, the bluebird. And the bluebird is there too, without getting too deep. I thought I pushed him to the back, so he's now in the front. I don't know how that happened, but so I would do it with happiness, and I would tell him, hey, listen, I ain't got no problems with you, man. You try to tase me? Yeah, well, look like you didn't have a donut or two. You better hope your backup gets here in time, because I'm going to take the taser off the belt and tase you back. I'm going to get you before you get me. I tell you what, I'm not going to go for the gun, because I'm not a killer. But I surely go for that heavy little beat the badge thing, that little heavy little knock thing, that thing with the heavy metal in it. I get that, and I knock you upside your head. I told you I'm not a peaceful hippie. I told you that. I wish I were. I talk like it. I do the best I can. But when I get angry, how did Bruce Banner say it? You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. That's why I need the world to change. So I'm not gonna play the rest of this video. I'll post a link. You can go watch it if you want to. But they eventually dragged her, just so how you see how it ends. He drags her down, struggles with her, fights with her. Around this part right here is where he tases her, big pump. And then he drags her down here and carries her out. Now, I don't know where her other son went. Yeah. See, none of this is okay. None of this is okay. It is never okay for a grown man to put their hands on a woman. It's never okay. It's never justified. It's never right. So I'm gonna move on. Because I gotta move. I gotta move on. I can't do that. I can't. Not the one. I'm supposed to pay every price. Oh, you know what we were talking about with the Trump guy. I think it was a Trump guy. The mechanic. He mentioned, what is her name? Breonna Taylor? Am I saying it right? Breonna Taylor? I have not looked into it. I don't look into it because I see these things happen all the time. And usually the one they want you to look at is probably the one that you shouldn't look at. So he was telling me about it. I didn't know anything about it, and I probably still don't. He just said, I saw the Netflix pop up. Apparently, there's a Netflix documentary. I'll give my perspective on that too, based on what I was told this morning. He said, oh, and this is an amazing thing. Back to Patricia. When you're honest with people, and they'll be honest with you, they won't be tribal and take up a side. And he was telling me, he said, yeah, well, you heard of Breonna Taylor. And I said, I've heard of her, and I've seen the pop up on Netflix, but I really don't watch the news. I don't pay attention. Unfortunately, the news is always designed to make me pissed off and get me to respond, be a certain way for billionaires and trillionaires. So no, tell me what happened. I don't pay attention. And he said, well, the police showed up after midnight. Tell me if these facts are right. I don't know if it's true. He said the police showed up at midnight with a no-knock warrant. No-knock warrant, went through the door after midnight. I guess they were asleep. And as soon as they beat through the door, running down the hallway or something, I guess her boyfriend or husband started shooting, got up and started shooting. And the police were shooting back. I guess one of the police was hit something, somebody dragged somebody out. One of the other police went around the other side of the window, started shooting in the window. Okay. By that time, I already heard everything I needed to hear. that time, I was already done. The rest of the details don't matter to me. The rest of the details don't matter to me. Now, I'm not sure what side y'all on. If y'all pick sides or something like that, I already know what happened. And he was being honest. He was just like, you know what? Yeah, he's just like, it's weird because if somebody came through my door, I'd have done the same thing. And if you were a cop and you had kids that need to go to soccer, you're buying their lunches, you got a mortgage, wife or husband at home you got to pay, you'd probably do your job. So what do we do? What side are you on when it's obviously that the government is the problem? I don't know, just toss it around for a little bit. Think about it. What side are you on when you know it's actually criminal to go through the door after midnight into anybody's houses? Whoever created no-knock warrants, right? Who do I blame? Because I blame the government. I don't blame the cops, nor do I blame Breonna Taylor, nor her husband or boyfriend, whoever shot back. We live in a psychotic time where psychotic people write psychotic laws where we all know that we probably do the same thing that everybody did in those situations if we were those people. So obviously, once again, like we said before, the police are not the problem. It's policing. There is no polite way to come through Gerard's house at midnight. There's no polite, there's no nice way, there's no constitutional way, no Bill of Rights. There is no way you come through that door that I don't try to stick lead or a knife in you. It's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. You know, my kids, even my kids know me. Oh no, you don't wake me up in the middle of no damn night. My kids used to wait at the door. Dad, are you up? Dad, you awake? Yeah, all right, I'm awake. What do you want? You know, you wake up in the middle of the night, you don't know what's going on. I could have just been in a dream, thinking I was in the Vietnam War or something, right? Like, that's just being honest and real. Criminal activity, writing these laws. I just jacked my laptop up. I'm on the side of liberty. I am too, Justin. I'm on the side of freedom and the human race. I'm on the side of sovereignty, which is why I don't have a political party and I don't have a new master that I want to run. I want to run my life or anybody else's life. It's time for humans to evolve into a new generation of sovereign people, going back to what we used to be. I kind of think that we're there, Justin. I kind of think that we're in this place where the next generation might be the first free generation of human beings that respect human life and are sovereign. And it ain't gonna come from no damn politics. It ain't gonna come from no damn fighting with police, fighting with order givers, nor the poor people who live in neighborhoods where if you come through the door at midnight, they're supposed to shoot you. Right? You come through the door at midnight without knock, even if you knock, damn it. I don't know if the no knocking doesn't make a difference. You know, you don't go to nobody's house at midnight. Now, the only case, and I told the brother this, I told the Trump guy this. I said, the only case that makes sense to me is if you are like a pedophile, terrorist, blowing up buildings, killing people, rapist, whatever. And they know that the only way they're going to get you because you armed to the teeth and you don't go to work so they can't get you in the daylight. Because you can do that with like the security agencies, right? There's safe ways to do that, just like taking a woman out the bleachers. Say, yeah, if you get her out quickly and she's not yelling and screaming for help, then we're good to go. But if she's yelling and screaming for help, then it's going to be a fight. It ain't going to just be you against her. And I don't fight clean. I'm not a clean. I fight you dirty. I'm not a clean. No, brother. No. You better hope that the bench, the balloon benches are bolted down. I hit you with one of them. I'm not a clean fighter. When I go in it, you got to go in it to win it. This is not a dance around with your friend shadow boxing match. No, when it's a fight, I see red and that's the end of it. No, they could have done it a bunch of different ways. They can get the NSA together to know what color everybody's drawers are, if they're asleep, turn on all the devices in the house, listen, determine. They can get the police. The police got that thing. What is that thing called? Cobra or whatever that is. The stinger thing that they can see through the walls and they can see who's in the house and where they're at, infrared. You know where everybody's at. You know if they're asleep. You know where the kids are. You know that they're in the bed or whatever. And if you really got to go in a house at nighttime, you know you can go in there where by the time people sit up and realize what's going on, you got 20 people in the room that's holding down where nobody dies. There's a way to protect and serve people, but we're not protecting and serve people. That's not the job that the police have. That is not their job description. Their job description is to subdue, kill, and put in cages. And we've got people in political parties that don't seem to get that. You can't write laws making the police the enemy of the people, or the people will act like the police are the enemy of the people. And this is why, he told me another thing this morning. I got more news from him this morning in 20 minutes than I've got since cuckoo virus started. He told me that I guess there were some police that were shot in some city last night, 2 police or something like that. Like, yeah, that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And I just noticed that the legislators aren't doing anything about it. They're not changing the laws. They're not getting rid of all the unconstitutional BS. They're not creating an environment where you can thrive. They're not getting rid of the war on drugs so you can grow the medicine you need to, so you're not going crazy, or you can make some money to feed your kids. They're not doing anything. They're just sit back and watching. It reminds me of that meme where you had Nancy Pelosi looking at Trump blaming him. And John Bowden and the rest of them, like, y'all been in the office for 400 years. How come you didn't change something? You was in office before slavery started, damn it. How come you can't fix nothing? You know, and now all of a sudden it's Trump's fault. No, that's why I don't get in the game. I'm not interested in the game. It's not Trump's fault, nor is he saving anything. The problem is us. Ain't got nothing to do with the legislators. So there are ways they could have went in the House. You know, but I suspect with the Breonna Taylor thing, I didn't see the documentary and I didn't pay attention, and I'm not paying attention. It's the same problem. It's always the same problem. That's why I don't look at it. You have a police state. You got 2 political sides that are so ignorant and lost in this that they can't seem to agree on the things they agree on. They all agree with the Bill of Rights. They all agree, leave me the hell alone. They all agree with I want equal opportunity. They all agree with they don't want cronyism and international corporations to run their world. They all agree with that. They got so much hate that they can't agree to it. They can't see it. And so I imagine some people will take up one side and say silly things like, oh, the police need more training. No, they don't. In slavery, let me ask y'all a question. In slavery, was the problem? So both slavery, white and black slavery, British, Irish slavery in North Africa, and African slavery in America, both slaveries and all the other slaveries I'm not mentioning, because there's a whole bunch of them between Vietnam and Aborigines and all over. But in both slaveries, was the problem that the slave keepers needed to have better training? Is that it? The slave catchers need to be trained better, they need better equipment? No, the problem is you were forcing people to do what they didn't want you to do. You didn't respect people's sovereignty. The problem is the slave catchers need better equipment and training. And the problem is not fixed by defunding the slave catchers. No. The white person got free in North Africa? No, they did, because what was it saying back then during white slavery in North Africa? They said that you could trade an onion for a Christian. That was the saying. They had so many white slaves in North Africa, you could trade an onion for a Christian. You think that the problem was with they need to train the people that would catch the white people that would run away from the North Africans, knowing that they're gonna make them eunuchs, cut off that dangling. Yeah, you're supposed to run. You get them slave catchers and grab you out of Britain, took you to North Africa and cut off your dang and make you a slave for somebody. No, you're supposed to run. The problem is that the people who catch us. All right, do you understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? It's the principle, right? Slavery is wrong, right? Whether it's done through legislation, in which it probably always has been, or done through a king or feudalism, it's wrong. You don't get to tell other people what to do in their own lives. And I was walking them into that. We didn't fully get to it because apparently the pony wasn't broke as I thought it might have been. I was gonna be walking today. Like, damn it, I had to walk to that slave plantation. And this is the wrong time to be caught on the street walking. Bad time. Let me get rid of the bluebird. We're gonna let that. This is the lawyer for Ohio is about to sue Ohio for the unconstitutional lockdowns. Check this out. This is where you need to be. This is where you need to be.
You tested positive on the diagnostic test, which is called the PCR.
Ooh, PCR test. Isn't that so fun?
Yeah, so the PCR test, and I've had a lot of doctors spend a lot of time educating me on this.
This is why I kirk out every time people, there's so many cases, it's this many cases, we got more cases and cases and cases, and just sit back. They haven't isolated it, and none of the tests work. None of the tests work. why, and this is how the conversation started off with this guy. It's like, I can't believe that the only news station that's even slightly questioning all the massive lying is Fox News. It's just a weird world to be in, where Fox is the only one that's even willing to kind of question. And they're not even fully questioning because they're controlled opposition, which again, is how all of this works.
And we've looked at this from every angle, and what we've done is we've taken the worst case scenario for our case and argued from that position, okay? And we have to do that because we would rather argue and win big than the other way around. So the PCR test was invented by a guy who won a Nobel Prize for the test. Brilliant guy. And he specifically said this test is wonderful for labs and should never be used to diagnose illness. He said that because it doesn't work. You can't diagnose illness with the PCR test. See, when this all started...
Now, question. This is the gold standard. Now, how many people have cuckoo virus? Somebody answer that question. I'm going to sit and scratch my neck like I'm the crack dude from In Living Color. Tyrone. Jerome, what was his name? Tyrone? Now, how many people have cuckoo viruses? I ask this question on my thread every now and then. I said, I haven't known anybody this year that even got the flu, let alone the cuckoo virus. And then people start saying, well, I know one, I know two, my sister, my my neighbor, blah, blah. But no tests work. No tests work. Okay? And that should be your answer for the whole cure that they got coming. Let me ask you, all right, dumb question time. Sometimes you ask dumb questions because in times when you got a lot of dumb things going around. If they can't test to find the virus, what are the odds they can cure the virus? All right, let's look at it another way. When I was a kid, I used to have a Siberian Husky. He used to run away all the time because Huskies don't like slavery. They get the hell out of there. And I was sad as a kid. I was only 8 years old. He had an acre to run, but he's a Husky. He wants to run. So he threw the fence and go running. So most of the neighbors who knew me, if you ever run into any of my neighbors, as me now as a grown man, they're like, oh yeah, I know that guy, Gerard. He was the little kid that was always crying, running around the neighborhood, running through my bushes, trying to catch his dog, Red, Siberian Husky. Like to run. I feel like me now. I'm about to run the hell out of this country. Maybe out the state. But running around crying all the time, trying to catch the dog. Look at it. You can hit some emotions. Now I forgot what I was going to say. I used to run around crying, catch the dog. Dog don't like slavery. Dog running around, Siberian Huskies. Like a human being, wants to be free. Right. So say Red had that was his name. His name was Red because he was a Siberian Husky with the brownish reddish coat with the blue eyes. Oh, sexy dog. And say he had a cold. No. He had heartworms, right? Because you got the heartworms. That's the one where you take the pill, you put it in the peanut butter because dogs don't like your synthetic medicine either. There's a theme here. They don't like your slavery. They don't like your synthetic medicine. The dog knows what's food. The dog knows what's medicine. It's called grass. It makes them throw up and they feel a lot better. And herbs and bushes and things that they eat. And they also don't like slavery, unlike us. They're still wolves. If I had to give him the pill to cure his heartworms, but I had no idea what Red looked like, and I had no idea Red was a Siberian Husky, I had no idea what neighborhood, state, street, where Red was, I didn't even know that Red was a dog. What are the odds of me curing Red? What are the odds that Red gonna make it? You don't know what you're looking for. You don't know where it's at. You don't have a test that works. You can't isolate it. You didn't isolate it. You got people and scientists saying it probably was made in the bioweb. The doctors don't even know what the hell is going on. It's going after white blood cells. People have no damn clue what this thing is. What are the odds that Red is going to get his medicine? I'd say about 0. I'd say -5. -5. So, 1, PCR test doesn't work. You have no idea how many cuckoo viruses out. Biden getting on TV telling people. 2, the ad I saw, it was 1,000 people got the virus a day. Vote for me. And the brother said he said 200 million people, and he misspoke. But misspeaking is a thing. You got to be careful when you got the world's biggest nuclear arsenal. Misspeaking might make a bad day for a couple billion people.
Everybody talks about testing. We don't have tests. So they come up with something, anything, because that's what politicians do. This wasn't anybody's fault. This is just the reality that no one ever tests for population-based viruses like this that are not super, super severe. So there just isn't anything. We don't test everybody in the population for the flu. So they come up with this PCR test, right? The PCR test doesn't work. Here in Ohio, we had Governor DeWine tested positive before he tested negative over the course of 2 days or 3 days, something like that. He had tested positive and then had 2 more negative tests the next 2 days. Well, how could that happen in a gold standard test? Well, I'll tell you how it could happen. The PCR test looks and sees whether or not there are any fragments of the virus.
Fragments! I love this part. Fragments. Fragments. So what are they saying when you got a case? They're saying they found some fragments. Fragments. Where you get fragments from? They stick to droplets. Fragments stick to droplets. How you get fragments? You got fragments of something that they think. Fragments don't mean that you're sick. It means that you've been down to Fraggle Rock. You got you some fragments. That's all you got is fragments. Doesn't mean that you're sick, just fragments. And who knows where you got them fragments from? All right, people are asking questions. Good questions. The FBI needs to look into it. But they said that the cuckoo virus was in last year's flu shot. So they need to do some what is that called? A correlated study? Some correlation studies between who got the flu shot last year with the cuckoo virus fragments in it and who got fragments in their blood shot this year with the cuckoo virus fragments in it. Because if they find a 1-to-1, you know what that means. And this is why he said that you can't use it. He said you could use it in the laboratory. He said you cannot use this in production. You can use it on monkeys in the laboratory. Please do not use this in people. This is not a test. This does not work. This is not a test. This is not a test. It is not a test. It is not a test. Please stop talking like it's. This is why is it the UK? Where's the lawyer that's got the fraud lawsuit, the false claims lawsuit against government for saying this is how many cases we got? Fragments is not a case. It's a fragment.
That causes COVID-19. Fragments. Now,
Fragments.
We go through our life every day, and my doctors have explained to me that we have tons of viruses and bacteria and all sorts of nasty things that are in our system all the time. They float around in the air. They're just a part of the world, and that's why we have an immune system.
And bananas.
Our immune system wins almost all of the time.
It's going to win, too.
So having a fragment does not mean you're sick, nor does it mean you're infected, nor does it mean anything else. It just means you have a fragment. So this test is super hypersensitive and can tell, whether or not you have a fragment. If you have a fragment, and if you, depending on who your test maker is, because by the way, the CDC has not set a standard for what it means to have COVID-19. There is no national standard. Instead, every one of the 100+ manufacturers of the COVID tests set their own standard. And so if you take it with one test, you may have it. And if you take it with another, you may not.
Now you listen to what this man is telling you. If somebody invited you to this broadcast, they've shared it on your page, they shared it on their page, this is what that crazy person has been saying for the last 4 months. Okay, they're not crazy. This is what they've been trying to tell you. Fragments, okay? The test doesn't actually work. And not only does it not only work, the corporations that make the test all set their own standards of fragments, okay? That means that I can make a fragment test and I can say 5 fragments mean that you got the cuckoo virus, and somebody else make a test and they said 85,000 fragments, you got the cuckoo virus. Which is why when you give it to that governor, if he had my test, because I like to sell more tests, because I know that it's political season, I know that y'all politicize the virus, you're going to buy more of my tests. Right? Why? Because I just want to make money. It's just economics. For me, everything is economics. This is what this crazy person's been posting about, because none of it makes any sense. None of it makes any sense. The statistics are wrong, the numbers is wrong, the cases is wrong, the test is wrong, the test doesn't even work and it's wrong. And the corporations are making big money. And then guess what? Because there's no regulation, they can change the fragment percentages. Fragments! Down to Fraggle Rock.
So these manufacturers all set the standard. There's no national standard. And once you run it, you could have a fragment of this virus in your system that is completely meaningless, never gets sick, never have any issues, but
I'm sorry, I gotta stop real quick. Trust the science, y'all. Trust the I'm sorry, Riley just posted like, science! Bill Nye, the science guy. TV science, y'all. Be very careful of TV science. TV science gonna get you killed. Gonna get grandmama killed too. You can ignore the TV science. Science! This is why every time I hear people say trust the science, I'm like, yeah, okay. Okay. I know what that means. I know what that means. That means somebody got some money to make. I didn't know. Anytime somebody says trust the science, go to the opposition scientists and ask them what they say is true, and they say no, the PCR test don't work. This is what doctors cannot tell you. This is what I'm glad the lawyers say. The doctors can't tell you. People on Facebook can tell you this, and they get their pages deleted and they get shadow banned. Doctors can't tell you this. Why? Because they lose their job. They got a Benz, a house. They got a couple kids in college. They are not going to risk that for you. Okay? They're just not going to get the shot. Why you go get it? Science!
still be diagnosed as a COVID test.
So much
or a COVID case.
The state's in
under
trouble.
this gold standard type of a test. So what you're getting is you've got the potential for a massive amount of false positives. And, you know, it just depends on how you run the test. It's interesting to see them talk about how there could be false negatives. But
now you see how, what was it, a mango or jackfruit? I keep messing it up. I don't want to get caught doing fake news. Gotta get a Facebook fact checker. Was it a mango or a jackfruit that got the fragments? So now you understand Africa, don't you? Now it makes sense to you, huh? In Africa, why the goat and the jackfruit have fragments. Now you understand, right? Now you understand how that happened, right? Because, you know, and the motor oil too, right? With the motor oil, because the guy was, you know, he was working on his car in the morning. And he sneezed on the motor oil. He got the flu shot last year. He got some fragments in the motor oil. And he was hungry around lunchtime, so he got himself a jackfruit. And he didn't eat all of it. And maybe, I don't know, maybe thought he'd sneezed something. Got some fragments on the jackfruit. And now the goat, yeah, I had theories on the goat, but I'm not sure I want to say them because I just saw Susan post a comment a minute ago. She said she had fragments in Uranus. Yeah, let's just not touch the goat. Yeah, he probably did touch the goat.
But they don't mention the false positives. It doesn't really matter whether there's negatives or positives because the test doesn't work and it doesn't mean anything.
Well, to establish that in court, and I know exactly what you're talking about, I've written extensively on the PCR, you're going to have to call expert witnesses. Actually, before that, you're going to be doing discovery, which means bringing people in who are reputed experts, who are the officials, giving us the official line, and questioning them at great length and detail under oath.
Yes, sir.
So I'm assuming that this would mean that you would have people sitting there and you would say, okay, now we're going to enter this area of discussing the PCR test because you have made many statements about the test and what it means and how we must rely on it and base our decisions on it to lock down, et cetera, et cetera. So we want to get your statements on the record and ask you very serious questions about the veracity and reliability and accuracy of the test. So I presume that in this discovery process, a great deal of highly significant information is going to come out.
That is absolutely our hope. I will tell you that coming into this case, probably the number one most important strategic aspect of this case was getting to discovery. Discovery to me is everything. You know, I'm a normal guy from Ohio. I'm not special. I'm an attorney. I do my best. I'm fighting for a cause. There's better attorneys than me. There's better people than me, smarter people. And so I know that. My goal here, though, was if I got to discovery, which we are getting there now, we will have discovery, then what that means is I can start bringing the facts to light. the real facts, no spin. I get to see the real data. And it's an interesting thing because we keep, in Ohio, we've had people, elected officials from the Ohio General Assembly are just ignored when they've asked for data on this by the governor's office. No one is sharing any of the data. So I don't know what they have to hide. And I know you don't typically hide something unless you have something to hide. But as we get to this data from the CDC, from the Ohio Department of Health, from all these different groups, and we see the real data, we'll be able to make public, God willing. I mean, as soon as we get this information and we get it ready, we will submit it to the court, which is typically public record. And people will be able to see what the truth is. No question about conspiracy. No question about whether it's real or not. It's just based on their data. Now, we've done everything in our case based on their data, but they've hid a lot of it, so we couldn't do any more. I welcome more of it, but discovery will allow us to find out the real truth. It'll also allow us to find out who knew what and when they knew it. You know, who's been lying? When did they start lying? Did the doctors who are making tons of money off of federal funds, did they lie? Did they commit fraud to get that money? Did the governor lie? Who lied? Because based on the data we're seeing, someone's lying. And this is their data, not mine. So I'm very eager for discovery because ultimately, after discovery, it doesn't matter whether I win or not, someone will be able to win in a big way. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm going to try and win. I'm carrying this to the bitter end one way or another. I'm very eager to do so. But the key here is getting the facts and finding the facts and getting these facts out to the public. Because not only do we need to win in the court, we need to make sure that the public is aware of what's happened so that they're capable of knowing in the future that, you know, maybe we shouldn't just say, well, trust your elected officials, trust your bureaucrat, which I keep hearing. I don't trust them. They need to show me, they need to prove to me that there's a reason to take my rights away before I'm willing to just trust them to take them. So discovery is huge. We're very excited about it.
Discovery could show, for instance, much lower case numbers than announced. Much lower death numbers than announced. The test itself, is unreliable, useless in fact. That scare tactics have been consciously deployed in order to frighten people into accepting dictates handed down from government officials. That this so-called pandemic, which is used to justify all of these harsh measures, is not really a pandemic at all.
Yes.
Discovery could reveal all of this.
Yes, it really could.
You could have Anthony Fauci sitting there.
Yes, we
in
could.
Discovery under oath, with you rolling up your sleeves for a very long question and answer session.
We hope to do just that. I would love to have a lot of these people explain to me their basis for arguing that we should have our fundamental rights abridged. I hear them out there just yesterday, just recently, Redfield was out there talking about these masks. Well, I almost wore a mask to this interview because, I thought maybe it would prevent me spreading a computer virus, and I wanted to just be courteous to you. I figured it would do as good a job of stopping a computer virus to you as it would stopping coronavirus for someone else. I mean, it's absurd. We have decades of science on masks because doctors have worn them in the operating room forever. The reason they wear them in the operating room is not because it stops viruses from spreading. It's because if they're operating and they happen to get snotty or drooly or something else that's normal and human, it doesn't get that into the patient. I mean, the idea that it's going to actually stop a virus is absurd. It's well known it doesn't. And in fact, it's also well known in science that if you wear a mask improperly, it's a greater risk than it is a benefit.
Science! All right, so a couple things there, right? So that's a whole lot to swallow. I know it was a whole lot to swallow. Probably like that goat with the fragments, but anyway. A few things. This is why, you know what, I have to make a new meme. Investigation 2020. We do not need an election 2020. No. I will go on the record right now. I'm going on the record. We'll go on the record right now. We don't need a 2020 election. We need a 2020 investigation, and it needs to be global. You have to bring these global criminals to account. Real talk. I make jokes, but this is real talk. Real talk. When people die, that's when we hit them brakes, pump them brakes, baby. People died. 1 million people died from the lockdown. We need a murder investigation 2020. That's all we need. We do not need to go along with it. Once again, you raise your government how you raise your children. Okay? What happens if you don't ever spank your children? Maybe the wrong question, because you got the anti-spankers here. And that's not me. I'm spoiled a rod, spare the child type of daddy. But not for every child. Raise every child different. What happens if you never punish your children? You just let them run all over the house, do whatever they want, create cuckoo viruses, spread them, kill people in the house, kill the dog, you know, shoot the squirrels with BB guns. What happens if you never correct your child? You end up with a psychopath. This is why we need election 2020. People died, real talk, but from the old folks and the old folks' homes, 30 to 60,000 people in the United States, and this is not for America. I'm speaking from an American perspective, but that's just where I am. This happened all over the world. We all need to be calling for an investigation all over the world. The worst thing to do is to make a decision and you don't know what the hell is going on. You don't know who's in power and you don't know what they're planning next. All right? So who benefited? And who knew? Who benefited? Who knew, right? From the private hospitals he talked about, to the insurance companies he talked about, the doctors, the nurses. Who benefited? Who knew? Who knew? Which of the nurses sat right there knew Lori Riley was telling the damn truth? Which one of the scientists knew that Judy Miskovich was telling the truth before? Which one of those doctors knew that the 12 doctors from the trying to save people's lives posted a video and they were deleted all over the internet talking about the prophylactic? Who knew? Only if we had an NSA that's got everybody's data. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, goodness. And then that's what the NSA wants to do it. They wants to do it. They want to pull the records because you know why? Because stalkers are stalker, stalk, snoop, stalker, snoop. They like the snooping and the stalking. You know, you go ahead and ask any woman that had, and well, you can ask a man too. I did too, with somebody just like, they go through some drawers they're not supposed to go through. They go some things. They love you just a little too much. You walk in the room. Are you sniffing my drawers? Tell me I'm lying. Y'all know some people just love you a little too much. You like, you sniffing my drawers? That NSA, they want to, boy. They like sniffing drawers. They like digging through stuff. Let them. Let them. This is the time they need to sniff in the insurance company's sock drawer. They need to pull some emails, pull some text messages. We need to know about the politicians, who knew ahead of time, and what was in that letter at McCain's funeral. Did y'all forget that one? Remember the letter at McCain's funeral? I suspect, I could be completely wrong, but about 2% of me thinks that if they pull that letter that they gave all them criminals at McCain's funeral for a war criminal, it probably said cuckoo virus 2020. This is when we're gonna go. We're gonna pull a cuckoo virus 2019 and 2020. That's when we're gonna convert you over to the world's government. Maybe, I don't know. But I know the NSA knows. I know that, and I know they like to dig into this type of stuff. So we do. Too many people died. Real talk. From diabetes to cancer to leukemia to dementia to all the conditions. This is how you get grandmama's back. Get grandmama's back. That's how you get grandmama's back, and you eat your bananas. And this is how you get the police's back. You get the doctor's back. It's like spanking a child. When you spank a child, or it's so hard living in this new world. You're supposed to be politically correct every damn thing you say. When you correct a child, don't make me go through it and don't get mad at me. I don't believe children should be spanked. I don't think children should be spanked, and I don't think grown-ups should be spanked neither. I don't think you should build a world where you got to spank your politicians neither. I didn't see your politicians. They a little raggedy. They look a little funky. I would not want to spank them. pull them drawers down, you might get a whiff of something you don't never want to take. But anyway, so we need an investigation. That's my point. We need an investigation. Yes, discipline, Karen. We need a disciplined government who is actually governing the population, not ruling. Okay? The difference between governing and rule, you know what the difference, Karen? Is that Karen? Yeah, Karen Stern. You know what the difference between government and ruling? Governing looks like, hey y'all, it's something out there. You probably shouldn't go outside. Not in the Tyrone voice from the hood, but sometimes it just turns on. Just leave me alone. Y'all probably shouldn't go outside. But you're adults, you can go figure that out. And this is what rule, because I happen to have this. I'm at slavery right now. This is how you know you're being ruled, okay? This is somebody playing a psychological game on you. Right? You don't put face diapers on adults, and you don't kill 1 million people. 1 million people, they say, have died since this nonsense started. 1 million people.
And that's why Fauci and all these people, when this first started happening, said the public shouldn't wear a mask because they knew it wasn't safe. I don't know what in God's name they were thinking when they decided to change their mind on all this. I think it was really probably based on just the intent to manipulate people further. And if you wear a mask, we actually do have an email, which I'm hoping I can get the actual email on. It's a screenshot, so I can't use it as evidence yet. But where we saw the governor and one of his doctors talking, and they talked about masks, and the comment was made, well, at least people can feel like they're a part of the solution. I don't need to feel like I'm a part of the solution. I don't think there's a problem. Yeah, if you want to wear a mask, good, wear one, but don't.
Ooh, there's a good piece of common damn sense. For me, a lot of this is academic. I do have a problem. I have a lot of problems, but I have a significant problem. I like real information. I don't like TV information. I like real information. So when all this started, I went, it's a virus out there killing people. I went right to the virologist university's YouTube channels, and I started listening to virologists speak on things like viruses. And listening to a few virologists, you'll find in a very short period of time, virologists love viruses. They love them to death. A little psychotic, a little special if you ask me, but they love them to death. Viruses are a natural part of the organic, natural world, and anybody who's fighting viruses got some problems. They got some problems. Okay? The only reason that's logical to fight nature that you are a part of is because something is wrong with your body, so you need to avoid viruses. Your body can't take the upgrade of the RNA that's coming in through the virus. All right. And if your body has trouble taking that upgrade, then yeah, you need to stay away from viruses. But you need, where the level three suit, will you come to the front, please? I had to talk to somebody about this yesterday. And came over to my thread, started talking about, you don't understand droplets. And I was like, oh, Lord have mercy. I don't understand. You don't understand physics and law, okay? If you go out there and you try to make yourself a facility where you get people in the laboratory working with the cuckoo virus, they have to have level 3 bioweapon suits or they will sue you out of business, okay? That answers the question about droplets. Stop it. The minute they come out your nose, they're breaking down. Evaporating, why? Because the viruses are supposed to be in aerosol form. Why? So they can spread amongst the herd. That's what they're supposed to do. Just like the droplets in the ocean. The viruses from the whales and the fish, yes, they all got their viruses. They all have extended immune systems and they all work together to protect each other. That's what it is. Okay? That's what I posted last night. I listened to a virologist. I love science. Science, not science. There's a difference. Bill Nye, the science guy. You know, there's a difference. One is out there selling something, and the other is just in the laboratory figuring things out. Viruses are sexy. Viruses are sexy. That's why I stopped watching viruses, because I was like, oh. I started looking at the different ones. Like, ooh, 17 different versions. Look at that one. Ooh, you got a little S-curve on you, virus. But they're an extended part of the immune system, people. Virologists love viruses, and some of us just aren't in this fight with you. You want to make a war on nature. I don't. I really don't care. I think it's funny. I think it's sad because you got a lot of people murdered, But, you know, and you still colluding with the murderers. I think that's bad. But I'm not in your fight. I'm with this brother. Like, y'all want to go fight virus? Go on, do that. I smack you on the butt like I do my kids. I used to, hey, daddy, I'm going to go play in the mud. Okay, you go out there and fight that mud, son. Get on out there and fight that mud. Get on there and get it. Yeah, dad, I'm going to go catch the squirrel. You going to catch the squirrel for real? You going to catch the squirrel? Go on, got to go. Get out there and catch that squirrel, son. Yeah. I'm just sitting back taking pictures. Like, you know, he ain't never gonna catch that damn squirrel, right? Honey, get the camera anyway, because out there fighting virus, like, you know that it's a part of you, right? You're not getting that this is a part of you. You're supposed to have your viruses, the fragmentation fragments. You're supposed to have fragments. Every day long, you're supposed to eat your banana and get your fragments. How you protect grandma. So yeah, I love this man. I didn't know his name. I love this man. I love this lawyer. He's on it. He is on it like he is hot like popcorn. He's popping it. Okay? He's popping it. This is where you need to be. And don't leave the people alone that like to wear the mask. Leave them people alone. Because that was the other good thing I was talking to the Trump voter, good guy this morning, mechanic guy. He says, you know what, but I'm respectful. You know, I said, you ain't wear no damn mask here. We are not in fantasy fight the virus time. You know, you don't have to wear no mask. So I felt good. I now have a new mechanic. You know why? Because I'm gonna support the people who support my immune system. My immune system needs lots of oxygen. And so, all right, being respectful. I mean, listen, if you want to fight the virus, you know. Don't try to pull me into your fantasy, you know, but I think you should be you. Who is that? Bex? If Bex wants to get out there and fight the virus and put a mask on, get out there, get a cape, some drawers, tight pants, and some boots. Get the superwoman to kick, ching, 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 right? And like fight the bullets and pretend she got an invisible ship. Damn it, I'm on Beck's side. Y'all leave her alone. Let her get out there and fight, be superwoman, super Beck's woman in the UK. You know, just let her fight it. You know, but don't abuse anybody else. Don't you can live whatever fantasy you want. Godzilla can come out the ocean. I'm good with that too. Just take some pictures, all right? Just let me know when Monster comes, because when they get to battling, a lot of people in them cities died. Don't trust TV, y'all. Because when Godzilla fought Monster, millions of people died. Buildings falling everywhere. They always lie. TV been lying. The more I think about it, they've been lying since the very beginning. Y'all remember Sunday morning? Any old people here over the age of 29? We used to get up in the morning on Sunday morning and watch Godzilla. Yeah, I tell you what, people died all over that city. TV been lying a long time. All right, let me stop. Whew. I love this man right here. I love this man. Don't get in the way of other people.
Tell me I need to. It's absurd.
Why do you think so many people have fallen into line? Let's just take masks, for example. You see them everywhere. And if you're not wearing a mask, sometimes you get hostile reactions from people. So maybe this is outside the scope of the case, I don't know, but what is going on with people?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. So,
I answer that real quick. They know they can abuse you, so they abuse you. I will tell you this. Nobody has ever abused me once. Maybe I got the don't abuse face on. Never once has anybody came to abuse me, told me anything silly like that. I've been waiting and wishing. This hadn't happened yet.
So if I win the case tomorrow and we don't have these conversations, then I still got 100 million plus Americans who've been scared and are going to stay locked in their house, and will never hear anything but the official narrative on it, which will get spun in some garbage way. So this is a little outside the case, but certainly relevant to winning this fight. As far as things go, people trust their doctors, and they should. Your local doctor, your doctor, probably a good guy. He or she has probably been lied to as much as everyone else. By the way, the CDC has a special section where it basically summarizes data for doctors. And you can imagine it's not always sharing all of the data. It's sharing what makes their case best. Doctors are busy. They're seeing however many patients a day. They've got some big health system telling them now that they have to see X number of patients per hour or else. they don't have time to sit and research and study this. Plus, you got to remember, these doctors, they only see the sickest of the sick. So to them, if you've got research that's coming your way from someone that you're supposed to be able to trust, like the CDC or your big hospital system, that says coronavirus is killing everybody, and then you see only the sickest of the sick, you're going to think it's trouble, it's bad, right? Problem is that when you get to the data that the CDC is using and sharing with labs and sharing on the high level, it says something different. You also have the problem with the fact that if you speak out as a doctor, you may well lose your job. There's lots of cases of great doctors around the country who've lost their job because they spoke out against the narrative on this. So why is that? Well, that's because these big hospital systems are making tons of money from COVID. They lost all sorts of money when the governor and all these places shut them down, but the federal funding ended up being a big deal for them. So you have a lot of people who are supporting this narrative who are making it hard for local people, for individuals to know the truth. I think that the trust for people between them and their medical providers is part of the problem. You just don't ever question anyone who's a medical provider. And I think that went kind of up the chain. When you hear Dr. Fauci, Dr. Birx, all telling you how dangerous it is, well, how many people can read a scientific study on healthcare? Very, very few. I mean, it's complicated stuff. I can't tell you how much time I had to spend to learn how to do all this. So, the thing is I think that it's just been a very, very, very well-planned, very sophisticated attempt to manipulate people. And they've done so incredibly effectively. And I think that most people just want to go about their lives and didn't have the time or the energy to dig into this. And when every night you hear about the next person that died, by the way, I mentioned the CDC presentation. It talks specifically in that presentation about making sure that the media is showing kids and people who wouldn't normally be affected who are dying, right? So every night you hear on the news media about the one kid who died, or the one healthy young adult that died. That is certainly not the norm. In Ohio, as of last time I checked, by the way, we have not had a single child under the age of 19 die. So they show this. They show this on purpose because that's how you scare people. And so it's just a well-placed narrative, a very well-done narrative. And unless we have someone else out there talking and sharing truth, why would you question it?
Understood. So I want viewers and listeners to be reminded again of the double nature of the case that you're filing. This is not only about constitutional freedoms and the imposed crushing and limitations on those freedoms through declarations of states of emergency and lockdowns and closures of businesses, the untold amount of human and economic wreckage that has been caused by incursions on guaranteed freedoms and liberties, but it's also saying if you're going to declare a state of emergency like this and impose all these restrictions, you're on the hook to explain why. You're on the hook to present data, facts, science that justifies this. You can't just say the experts all tell us, or it's obvious, or this is what the CDC said. And so your case is coming at it from both angles, and in court, your plan is to question the underlying fact and science that's being used or abused to make these emergency declarations, to pull the pin out from under the whole thing, in other words.
Absolutely. We believe that the premise is flawed. You have to have a reason. If you're going to, so there's different standards. When you go to court and you got to argue something constitutionally, and I'm not going to get too much in the weeds here because I'll put people to sleep real quick, but when you go to the court and you say this is unconstitutional, the court looks at it through different lens, right? So certain things, if you made a law that was a racist law, for example, the state has to prove that that law is necessary and it serves a compelling interest and that it's narrowly tailored and it's not doing any more than necessary. They've really got a high standard to meet. There's other laws where the state's only got to have a rational basis, right? Certain things can be abridged on a rational basis, but there's essentially three main standards, arguably a fourth. And what we're saying is that certainly the facts don't justify meeting the high standard. Certainly the facts don't justify meeting the intermediate standard. And we absolutely do not believe that the facts justify even meeting the lowest standard to abridge constitutional rights. And one of the things that's not really been tested enough, in my opinion, under the Constitution is the Ninth Amendment. The Ninth Amendment lets us be free. It essentially says, you just can't make up these ridiculous rules out of nowhere. If the Ninth Amendment has any meaning, it certainly applies to what's happened here, because there's a lot of things that just no one would have thought they would ever abridge. We look at the ruling out of Pennsylvania, which was a wonderful ruling. They brought up a number of situations and questions about rights that no one's really ever challenged in court. The court had to figure out what sort of review they should do on a constitutional challenge related to these rights. That's tough, and it's a big deal for a court to do. But the reason they had to do it is because we just never had anyone try and pretend that this is Venezuela / communist China / it's ridiculous. Telling people that they can't go to work, telling people that their local furniture store is not valuable and is not essential, but your big chain furniture store is.
Right. So there's a couple things there. There's always a couple things. First of all, furniture is essential. How do you know if furniture is essential and who's it's essential to? That's number one. You don't know that. You don't know that. People out there protesting. People got butt injuries. You don't know if a warm, new, lazy boy that's got the heat and butt cheek thing on the right side, not the left side, heats up warmer, that they need that for medical reasons. There's a great reason why you don't violate the Constitution or natural law. It's because you don't know. Don't know. So he had a couple things there. First of all, CDC said your government literally is not supposed to give two damns what the CDC, the ABC, the OBC, the NBC, the ABC, the Fox News, they're not supposed to give a damn what any of them say. It's supposed to be your government. Your government. It's supposed to only give a damn what you say. All right, that's number one. Number two, so this whole CDC said thing, I don't get too much into the Constitution because I like to apply across the world. Not everybody has the same Constitution. But we can stick to natural law to a degree. You have no ability or right to tell anybody how to live life, who can live life, and who is authorized to do what. Because you don't know what people need to do. We talked about it yesterday when it came to diabetes. You don't know what people die. I have no idea what people with diabetes need. Do I look like I have diabetes, damn it? I'm eating a banana for breakfast. Okay? Earlier I ate some beans, some raw beans right out the guy. I don't have diabetes. I don't know what they need. I love them to death though. They were tricked and fooled. I'm just privileged that I wasn't. I almost was. I watched them Kellogg commercials with everybody else, growing up eating them sugar cereals. Okay, I did that, but I luckily escaped. But that doesn't make me better. It just means I'm lucky. But it also means that I need to accept that privilege for what it is. I don't have diabetes. I don't know really what insulin is. I don't know how often you need it. I don't know how often you need to get tested. I don't know any of that. So I have no right to shut down the facilities where they need to go to that saves their life. All right? I got one position when it comes to diabetes, to tell people the truth. You need to go out there and read the cholesterol myth. Your diabetes comes from sugar that your government subsidizes, that they're destroying the lakes in Lake Okeechobee in Florida with. Okay? They're not just killing humans, they're killing all the fish and wildlife with sugar. Because they subsidize it with glyphosate. All right. Want to talk about cases? I don't want to know how much cuckoo virus cases are. I don't care. I do care about how many people die with glyphosate. I do want to know that. That's important. Can't do nothing about cuckoo virus. We tried to shut down the bioweapons lab. Hopefully that'll help out in the future. So y'all not making that stuff. Y'all done fooled us and sold it to all of our enemies abroad. Which is why we need murder case, murder investigation 2020, not election 2020. But you don't know. We don't ever know. We called this a privileged lockdown not too long ago, right? People with the privilege to lock down people who don't have the privilege. The weird thing in my country, though, because these are the people that was yelling and screaming about white privilege not just a minute ago. Not just a minute ago. They had problems with privilege and supremacy. But this is why I tell you that the news, if you follow the news and you follow the tribal politicians, they'll always walk you into being the oppressor. The oppressed will always become the oppressor. So I'm not gonna watch the rest of it. This was great though. This was great. Y'all should watch John Rappoport interviews attorney Tom Renz. This is what needs to be viral and global, right? Real information having a real discussion, not fake information, fluffing, fake, and fuffing. Okay. Yeah, and the other thing he said, like, it seems like a good idea at the time, right? All these laws that are racist. Now that people say that the laws are systemically racist, they're not lying about that. They are. There's a good book called Michelle Alexander's book. What was the name of it? That's why I mean I don't take any sides on anything. This is why I don't have many friends, because I don't believe in none of your lies. I tell the truth on all sides that I can. The laws are systemically racist, and the Democrats wrote most of them. But you know, that's not that's not. They don't want to hear that part. It seemed like a good idea at the time, right? Like the whole civil rights movement. A lot of the laws that the people on the other side fight with. You can't do things that seem like a good idea at the time that violate adults' natural rights. Can't do that. It always ends up being a bad idea. Well, at the time, it seemed like a good idea for a crime bill. At the time, it seemed like a good idea for a Patriot Act. Well, at the time, it seemed like a good idea for Jim Crow. At the time, it seemed like a good idea for black codes. No, it's never good. At the time, it seemed like a good idea for the Washington, D.C. Act of 1871 to get rid of the Republic and replace it with a for-profit corporation owned by billionaires internationally that nobody even knows. At the same time, it seemed like a good idea to get involved in global banking and have global bankers who know more about banking than us take over our currency system. Now we see it's a scam. Never do anything that seems like it's a good idea at the time. The best thing to do is you let people regulate their own lives. You let adults make their own damn decisions. They know what they need to eat. They know what they need to grow. They know where they need to go. They know that they need insulin. They know that they need to get tests. They know that, not you. They know if they got cancer. They know if they need to change the food that they eat. They know if they need to go see the doctor or not. They can't be forced to stay at home because you are privileged. You don't have their problems. And you feel like locking down because you want to stage a fantasy world on the war on nature. I'm done ranting. Let's just say grandmama, y'all. Peace, be still. Be still. You got to be still. Be still. Don't get up. No, don't get up. Go on and sit down, especially if you don't know what the hell is going on. Don't get up. Peace, be still. Don't be a restless native. The natives are restless because the natives need some rest. Be still. Sit down. Educate yourself. Read some science. All right, read comments. I'm going to get out of here. Woo, that was fun. Woo, that's fun. It's good to see good things going. This is what I'm telling you. I think this is going to work out. I do. I think it's going to work out. We all might die before it works out, but it's going to work out. And I was talking with a guy, and he was telling me, he said, the next generation, they really got the passion. They want to save the world. Yes, they do. They do. I agree with you. Young people, I get calls, I need to grow some food. I want to figure out how to homestead. I need to get out there and get me some land. I was like, young person, don't do that. You're going to die. The bear's going to eat you and the slug's going to poop you out. No, don't do that. You don't need to homestead no more. We got high technology now. We got other better ways to do this. But they have the passion and they want to save the world. They're just too young and ignorant to know what's wrong with the world. And the people who have the experience, who've been here long enough, for some reason, have taken in the ignorance of the television set and are in conflict with people who have nothing to do with the problems in the world. It's the older generation that have the experience that feed the passion to the young generation and what needs to change. They got the passion, they just don't have the experience. This is why adults got to grow up. This is why we talk about adulting. We have to go back to being mature, critical thinking adults that are parts of communities that are all working together, not dividing up over political BS that's never served anyone ever in 3,000 years. Good morning. Daniel in the house. Daniel Dudism. Are you sharing that baby milk with them baby? You still stealing that baby milk from them babies? There ain't nothing wrong with drinking booby milk, Daniel Dudism, but you drink the booby milk to get the baby. You don't drink the booby milk from the baby. I love Daniel. Daniel's funny as hell. But you stop stealing the babies, but he steals the baby's milk. Are you still doing that, Daniel? You leave your wife alone. You're supposed to have rest between babies. Anyway, Leviathan. I don't know. Yeah, well, you know what? I believe the Leviathan is real. I believe it's deep in the ocean. Maybe we should talk about Leviathans and the tracks under the ocean. We could talk about that too. I have to dance back and forth. You can't talk about serious stuff for too long, because that's when you get shadow banned and go to prison too long. People who believe all this nonsense, they need you to be scared with them, and they get upset. You're not scared with them, and I'm not scared with you because I'm not scared of nature. I used to swim in the lake and drink duck poo-poo and turtle poo and frog poo, and a frog jumped on me yesterday. Did I tell y'all about that? I was bringing some pots in. Big old nasty frog. I guess it was on the pot. And instead of jumping on the ground, it jumped on my arm. And I'm like, I felt something gooey and wet, and I looked down and said, oh Lord, here we go. Got all, because you know, frogs, they got this protective enzyme on their skin, and it protects them from viruses and bacteria and boogers and stuff like that. And so, but in that protective enzyme are their viruses, their bacteria, and the boogers. Literally, it's mucus, it's their boogers. Like fish, when you pick up a fish and it's slimy and stuff, that's the protective coating. It's the mucus, it's the boogers. So he put boogers all over me, and he jumped off. I'm not a war of nature. Lunchtime came, and it's, you know, what did I eat for lunch yesterday? I ate a pizza. And I put the pizza in my mouth, it got a little sniff, smelled kind of reptilian. Oh yeah, that's right, a frog jumped on me. Yeah, I did not go run for the Lysol. I didn't do that. I don't do that. Which, by the way, if you are involved in this fantasy, I do want to let you know I did get a pop-up in full disclosure that they now say Lysol kills the cuckoo virus. So there you go. There you go. Go on, get your fight on. Get your weapon of mass destruction. Destroy some of them cuckoo viruses. It might get frog boogers too. But I'm not in the war with nature. And I believe how they're normalizing and sexualizing masks. Blows my mind. Yeah, it's kind of sick, Daniel. They got like fashion masks now. Oh, I was wrong. Oh, I was wrong. You remind you, I was wrong. I got to admit I was wrong. Because that's what we do here. When we're wrong, we do this thing called be an adult, say you was wrong. If you don't, this guy named Beaufont will go back, find the video, and post it where you said you ain't say you said you said. You know, that's how they're getting people that cancel culture. Just admit when you're wrong. I was wrong. Well, I'm technically wrong. I just didn't believe people when they said that, oh, yeah, well, you know, we might just have to wear masks the rest of our lives. I didn't believe it when y'all said that. I don't believe that the people, anybody on this planet, like, yeah, we might have to wear, this might be the new normal. We might have to just forever wear a mask. I met somebody yesterday, and the lady said that yesterday. She said, instead of taking the Bill Gates Luciferase mark of the beast cure and turn you into a Nephilim, she said, no, I'll just wear a mask the rest of my life. I was like, whoa, slow your draws, lady, slow your draws. You know, there's other decisions you can make. There's other options. The government doesn't just give you the options. You're going to wear the mask the rest of your life or you get a flu shot. There are other options. There's definitely some other options. And as I said, no, you don't really have to. Why do you think that somebody has a right to make you cover up your human nose breathing in oxygen? But apparently, I guess was that on the news? Is that why y'all were saying that? They're saying on the news that people are already thinking that they got to wear masks the rest of their life. I can tell you, I'm not going to wear the mask. I can tell you two things. I'm not going for either one of those options. You're going to have to accept that I'm going to take option 3. Nope, I'm not going to get your cure, and I'm not going to wear no damn mask. I'm barely going to wear the mask. I'm about a week. I'm about a week done. I'm about a week done. I'm sick of this. I'm so glad to see that brother this morning. Like, yeah, we don't do that around here. I was like, yes! Don't make me move to a Trump state. Like, I'm not wearing that damn thing. So I do not wear it outside. I do not wear it in a car. The only time I wear it is when I have to go into an establishment of a privately owned business that tells me that I have to. I get that. I'm all about respect. I'm all about respect. And I think though, but they should make it optional. That's what I want. Make the mask optional again. Let's go back to like something called the Constitution and Bill of Rights, natural law, and you don't know every damn thing. Let's go back to that. And then if you want to keep a sign on your store that says you can't come in unless you have a mask on, you should. But I think the government should buy flashing neon signs for the top of your store, please. Because I love it, because you know Walmart, Target, Home Depot, all the colonizer stores, all the big box stores is burning up the planet. The people will, Amazon, all of them. If they got stores, eventually they will. They should just let people know. Because I need to know. I need to know that you are not a human store. I need to know that you are in a war against nature, so I cannot shop from you. I don't want to give you my money. No, I told you I would suck in the civil rights movement. I don't believe in this. Oh, please take my money. I would have sucked. I'd have broke the civil rights movement. You don't want my money? Then you can go to hell. No, I work too hard for my money. Hell no. How many people died for my money? A lot of people died for my money, and I work for about an hour. No, I'm not giving my money to somebody who wants to wage a war on nature. Would you give your money to a corporation who decided it was a good idea to wage their war on leaves? Huh? You know how many leaves there are on this planet? You know how long that war is going to last? It's like terrorism. It's no different. That's why I like the correlation between cuckoo virus and terrorism. It's like, it's just a new terrorist, that's all. They know they can't get all of them, and if they think that they are getting all of them, they'll blow up another nation and make more terrorists. Which, by the way, is another good topic, because the terrorists aren't the terrorists that you think of the terrorists. The terrorists are the people that you put in office in 2020. But what you think Al-Qaeda's face look like right now? Somewhere, you know what? Let me go ahead and get down with this for a minute, because I gotta make it make sense. I'm gonna take this face diaper somewhere right now. No, that don't look like Al-Qaeda. That looked like Crips and Blood Ida. That looked like I could go a little higher on that. I was like, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. It's okay. It's the end of the world, y'all. It's all right. You can do this. The end of the world. I'm just trying to get this up here. You know, somewhere you got somebody in Al-Qaeda. Nope, that's not gonna work. Damn it. Almost. Wait a minute. Yeah. That might work. You mean to tell me after all these bombs we done made, all these bullets, all of these making tanks out of Toyota trucks and that, all we had to do was buy a few American politicians and fake some statistics to collapse the NATO countries? That's all we had to do? I think somewhere they're upset. I think ISIS, ISIL, ICAD, all the organizations that the United States government and the World Health Organization, CDC, and all them terrorist organizations that they made, they funded and they gave everything to, blew up nations to increase their recruiting. I think they all sitting somewhere. You mean to tell me that's all we had to do? You mean to tell me that the Americans and the Britons and the Canadians, all of them, that damn foolish, that all we had to do was fake some statistics, create something called a PCR test, and lobby a few politicians, and we could collapse their countries? What a waste of time. They waging war on terror. All we had to do was a cuckoo virus. That's all we had to do. All right. I'm gonna wrap this up. My battery died. All right, there we go. Whew, comments. I'm gonna get out of that. My dad had diabetes from Agent Orange. He bathed and drank it for 1.5 tours in Nam. And you know what, Justin? You should be a multi-billionaire right now for that. All right, multi-billionaire, because that was wrong. It was wrong when he did it. It's wrong now. It's wrong that you had kids who still suffer from all of that. And it's wrong that we are still keeping it going. You still have kids being born in Vietnam with all kind of problems because of all that Agent Orange, the politicians who actually got paid to spray that stuff, and the money that they made from that still in their bank accounts. That's a problem. That's another investigation that needs to be had. He had. Ooh, this is interesting. Check this out. Did I put this one up? I did put this one up. I did put this one up. I need you to see this. See this outlook. Y'all see this in West Palm Beach, people getting upset, catching cases. I want to know if this actually became something. Did y'all see that? I guess it was like
We have Cindy Falco Decorado,
You are served.
followed by Michael.
You are served. You are served.
Sir.
In the future, please do not approach the dais or you'll have you removed from the chamber. Please get off here and get back to the microphone. If you have something to give to us, you can give it to the clerk or a member of the county staff.
Very much. I appreciate
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
Let me share what I just served. I just served a non-negotiable notice of complaint. This non-negotiable notice of complaint is being filed today, Tuesday, September the 1st, 2020, at the Board of County Commissioners meeting in Palm Beach County, Florida. The non-negotiable notice of complaint is to inform the Palm Beach County Mayor, Dave Kerner, Vice Mayor Robert S. Weinroth, Palm Beach County Commissioners Melissa McKinley, Greg K. Weiss, Mac Bernard, Mary Lou Berger, and Hal R. Valichet, and the Palm Beach County Administrator, Verdina C. Baker, of the following violations. You are all under violation and operating outside of your oaths of office, and both the Florida state and the U.S. Constitution. You are all acting outside of the authority of your office and do not have the governing authority to shut down Palm Beach County and mandate anything. You are all in violation of Florida state and federal constitutional law. You are all in violation of the people at large unalienable rights. You are all in violation of the following codes: 18 U.S. Code 241, 18 U.S. Code 242, 18 Code U.S. 245, 18 U.S. Code 1962, 18 U.S. Code 1031, 18 U.S. Code 1038, and 18 U.S. Code 1341 and 42, and U.S. Code 1983, 42 U.S. Code 1985, 42 U.S. Code 3617. This is an official notification of your violations. You need to understand this. No one is above the law. And legislature's law on obligation under 42 U.S. Code 1986, a duty to prevent a wrong from being done. You have not done that. And 18 U.S. Code 1621, citing the neglect to protect by individual under oath. 16 American Jurisprudence 24, Section 98, while an emergency cannot create power and no emergency justifies the violation of the provision of the United States Constitution of the United States of America. No emergency has just cause to suppress the Constitution or the people at large unalienable rights. From the 16th American Jurisprudence, Section 177, the general misconception that any statute passed by legislators bearing the appearance of law constitutes the law of the land. The U.S. Constitution is the supreme law of the land, and any statute to be valid must be in agreement. It is impossible for both the Constitution and law violating it to be valid. One must prevail. Any court, government, or government officer who acts in violation of, in opposition of, or in contradiction of the foregoing by his or her own actions commits treason and includes the self-executing Section 3 of Part 18 Amendment and vacates his or her office.
Ma'am,
Abusing your
time has
power.
expired. We
I will say
appreciate
with
your
the last
comment.
thing that you have been served and what that is in violation, and your bonds will be pulled if you do not comply within 10 days. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You. That's the type of woman I need on my team. Boy, I tell you what. Not the one watching that damn television. You are served, sir, sir. No, sir. They try to make her sit down. This is how you go. This is how you go to town. This is how you go to these colonizers, boy. She got out there and she handed all of them their papers. Here, your papers, just served. Treated you like that she was the cop and that y'all actually worked for her. The nerve of her. This was West Palm Beach Commissioners meetings. You have been served. I love her to death. Oh, yes, I do. Woo, goodness gracious. They try to get her said, ma'am. You are served, you are served, you are served, you are served, you are served. Ma'am, can you next time not come and just hand it to the person, the security guard with the gun, because you're a little frightening. You're scaring me a little bit, ma'am. Could you just next time? No, You work for me, okay? You don't set the schedule. I set the schedule. That's what you need on your team. This is who we need. We need people like this. Serve them up. Oath of office. They done killed millions of people. And she done served them up. This is delicious. I don't know if anything will come of that, but I certainly appreciate that. It feels good. I feel things shifting. Do y'all feel things shifting? I feel things shifting. Breathe in that sexy ass product, baby. I think we're turning a curve. I think that we've actually hit the bend. I think Americans are finally now understanding that slavery is a choice and they're getting tired of it. So that is a wonderful thing. And, you know, so I don't think it's going to do anything. I don't think they care. I don't think they care. I know it's going to sound bad and wrong, give you all that hope and stuff. I don't think corporations care about this stuff. You don't have a government, people. You have a corporation. It's a governing corporation. It's good. It's good. You need to serve them from a spiritual perspective, right? A human rights perspective. You have been served. We know that you have murdered millions of people, and you're looking at murdered millions more. Because we're going into fall. And cuckoo virus, y'all not eating your bananas. That's right. That's Did I disappear? The hell, I just disappeared myself. Damn it, sometimes you'll do that. I pressed the wrong button. Sometimes I didn't see it. I was grabbing my banana. I was saving grandma. This is how you used to say grandma. Flu season's coming. I don't see nobody making no smoothies, so you know people gonna get sick. And when they do that, they're gonna pull the same thing that they just pull, like, listen, sometimes you just got to serve people. But to me, like, I love the law. I love stuff like that. I'm a boring guy. I'll read the law, but the reality is, I'm wave energy. I'm a spiritual vibration creature. And I'm not subject to the laws that you think that I am. You know, I'll follow what I want to follow and follow what I don't. I'm telling you that you have been served. No, I'm not doing your lockdown again. Nope. I'm done with face diapers. I put all the poo-poo virus, mass lung funguses and everything that I need to do. Did y'all see that picture of the face diaper somebody picked up some poo-poo with? Did y'all? People send me the damnedest stuff. They hadn't had a face diaper and the dog went poo, and I guess maybe the lady didn't have a bag or something. She picked up the dog poo with the face diaper and stuff. That's what that's good for. Now put it in the trash. Don't throw it in the ocean, lay it in the parking lot like the rest of these people who think they're protecting somebody from some damn droplets that evaporate the moment they come out your nose. Okay? Mucus serves one purpose in that scenario. It's to clump up around the particulates and get it out the body. And once it's out the body, everything is breaking it down. Right? To go back to its aerosol form. That's why bioweapons lab require that you put, if grandmama wants to come, if you work at the bioweapons lab and grandmama wants to come see you for lunch and y'all want to eat some fresh organic salads, grandmama, when she comes in there, she has to have on a level 3 bioweapons positive pressure suit. Look it up on OSHA's website. Don't trust me. Do your homework. I would do some comments. I'm gonna go. Drug network selling psychiatric drugs is here to control any way they choose, running ad fake news. Yes, Angela. And they own the media. They own the media. Because he who pays, it's a scripture. It's a scripture, Angela Einstein. Ooh, Einstein, you so smart. It's a scripture that says, he who pays for the commercials owns the advertising in thither. Okay? In thither. And so if you buy all the ads on TV, you own all the programming in between. And that includes the news. And that's exactly what's going on. They just selling drugs. They just drug dealers. They just don't have three-stripe Adidas suits and K-Swiss. Okay? They just got Benzes and mansions and they own nations. They're just drug dealers. That's all they are. You know what? I bet I thought about it. I could think of a drug dealer staging this in the Washington, D.C. area growing up on a small scale, stressing a neighborhood, and then making profit from the stress they created. Didn't the mob do that? What's that called when the mob comes in and they beat people up? They come in, they beat people up, and they come back and they say, well, you got to pay me to protect you from me. I mean, the people who beat you up. Protection money. What's that called? The mob did it. They did it too. Same government coming in, poisoning everybody. Air, food, land, water, immune systems don't work, giving them drugs, flipping genes through epigenetics. So their immune system is too busy just fighting everything else that the corporations done put in their environment. And then they get the cuckoo virus. It's like, yeah, we got something that'll save you. I tell you, the people that was poisonous. No, I'm not gonna pay your protection money. I'm done with this scam. Anyway, especially when it comes to ones mandating it, are more warmongering pedophiles. Christ, and that's a good principle to stand on. If thine, that's another scripture. If thine knoweth pedophileth, warmongering, thy that thithereth that drop buildings on babies daily, thine doesn't care about grandmamas. Thine don't care about you neither. Thine the devil. Thine don't get in bed with that one, because you gonna have devil babies. They gonna have bifurcated tails and horns, and you gonna get an STD that you ain't never gonna get rid of. Do not get in bed with demons. I believe demons exist. But all you have to do is look at what people do. Look at what people do, Christ. I like to say it from a battle perspective. You ever lined up in a battle, and you look at the enemy on the other side, you can't really see them fog of war, usually what the fog of war is. You can't see that you're fighting people that look just like you. People got your problems, people who do what you do. They were just born in a different place. But if you look next to you and you see people they all look red and got fire in their eyes and stuff like a demon over there, and look over there, you see a hood and this person has a sickle. You just might be on the wrong side of things. You just might be on the wrong side of history. Just might. You on the side and y'all done wrote the crime bill. You done wrote the Patriot Act. You know, you look on the other side, you cheering for the police. They put more police on the street, not actually deal with the actual problems and get rid of the laws and take out the artificial scarcity and release the patents and technology so people won't live in ghettos and hoods and have to grow up and be in survival mode. If you look and you see people, damn, everybody here is an abuser. You on the wrong side. You on the wrong side. Switch side. Either you go to the other side or don't be in the fight, because obviously you're on the wrong side. One drug network. You were spot on. Yes, it is, Angela. One drug network, one world government. This is where we are. I can be wrong about things, and I hope I am, because I think things are headed in a very dark direction. People like us are important because we question authority. If everyone was an order follower, we would be even in deeper doo. I agree with you, Matthew, and you're right. And it's not a bad thing. Sometimes you got to get dark, brother. You know, sometimes it's going to get dark. It is going to get dark. I don't think it's going to be like Godzilla dark. I don't think it's going to be like The Walking Dead dark, because I'm not going to do that. I only joke around with the zombie apocalypse. Ain't no way in hell, brother Matt. Ain't no way in hell. The zombie apocalypse come. Nope. I'm gonna die in the first episode. I'm not doing it. You know what? I will watch The Walking Dead. That darkness is good with pizza on television, Matthew. It's good with pizza. But you mean to tell, I don't like to be around people who don't use deodorant. I don't like to be around people who use too much perfume and cologne. I don't like to be around people who don't bathe on the regular. The idea that I'm gonna be in an apocalypse with dead people who stink, that don't take showers, they don't put on deodorant, they're decaying, their mouth is falling off, half their face, and the only team I got to fight with me, Matthew, is people on my side who also don't take baths. They also don't wear deodorant. They're always out there fighting, getting food runs, getting old beans and stuff, coming back, and they got zombie goo and decaying flesh, and they'll never wash it off. They look dirty. I mean, the women look fine, Matthew, like some of them, because they got them tight pants in the apocalypse. I don't know who would want to wear them tight yoga pants in the apocalypse, but I like them. But you're going to have to take a bath. You're going to have to wash. You're going to have to wash. You're going to have to wash everything. I'm not going to be in that apocalypse, Matthew. I like dark stuff on TV. I wish we weren't here, but this is where we are. There's some good sayings around that, right? It's always darkest before the dawn, right? So I suspect that it is going to get dark, and it's in that darkness, though, it's going to wake everybody up. What is the name of that movie? Didn't we talk about this a week ago? Last week. What is it about in the darkest time people shine? What is, think about 9/11. We shined after that. You know, people came together. Everybody had gray dust on their face. Dust from buildings and minerals and things they stole from other people they murdered somewhere else on the planet, or right from here in where does Portland cement come from? Portland. You know, nobody in Portland's supposed to be there. I know, Jazzy, y'all don't. You stole that land. and you stole it from the people who stole it, but they stole it back like I told you it was going to do. When people come together in darkness, they just stay focused, and you can't let television focus you on the wrong enemy, because that's what it's designed to do. Make profit. It'll never focus you on those making the most money. It's usually the ones buying the commercials. Day that lasts forever. That Keanu Reeves movie. In our worst times, that's when we come together. Right? It takes a tragedy to bring a family together. I think we're about to come together. Anyway, yes, the oaths of office. No, not the oaths of orifice. What is wrong with both sides? Man, you need a job. You need 2 jobs. You need some slavery to go do something. Yeah, they took oaths of office, which is interesting too, both sides, because we have a group, oath keepers, oath takers, not oath breakers, because they all they all broke them oaths. And not oats. Oats are good though. They are good. They're gluten free, but they're not saving grandmama. You need to eat raw food. Oaths of office. So there's a group, Promise Keeper. Is that Promise Keepers? The order followers who are getting together saying, "No, we're gonna stick by that Constitution. We're gonna get back on track." Like now is a good time to get people to wonder about their oaths. Get the police, the firefighters, politicians, the NSAs, the CIAs, the FBIs, go back and read your oath. What does it say? Is there anything in there about the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the CDC, the for-profit corporations trying to do global scams to make trillions of dollars of profit on a $750 billion payday for who can make a cure for something that nobody has isolated, none of the tests work for? Really look at your oath. Ooh, did the Christians take? I know I took an oath as a Christian. I took an oath. And I'm still beholden to that oath. And it said, basically, I got to love everybody. I can't covet thy neighbor's oil, thy neighbor's lithium. It said, thou shalt not murder. I can't go blow up other people, steal their minerals, nor can thou shalt murder with police. Yeah, that's an oath to rethink. Well, I tell you what, I give my life to Christ. I did it at 14. I didn't believe it. I didn't. At 14, I didn't know. I was a little still hesitant. I was like, somebody built a big wooden ark and put every damn animal on the planet on the ark, 2 of them, and they put people on the ark. I got an Akita and a Siberian Husky, and I love them to death. But damn it, they stink. And just in my room alone, but somebody took monkeys, bears, dinosaurs, buffalo, elephants, monkeys, and frogs and turtles and skunks and put them all on one big wooden boat. Say, I didn't believe it then. I believed it later. I believed it later and gave my life over to Christ later. But the reality is, you took an oath of office. And guess who your oath was to? Conservatives, my conservative friends. Antifa. Black Lives Matter. White Lives Matter. People in the ghetto, the barrio, the Appalachian Mountains, people in China, the China disease. Children of God, all of them. All of the Muslims, all over Syria. That's a good thing about today, like going back to Matthew, is that, yeah, we are in dark times, but in dark times, it makes people question if they've been put on the wrong path. Everybody's on the wrong path, including me. Everybody is. We've all fallen short of the glory of the aliens. We're not of God. Okay. We've all fallen short. You know, we just have to, like, course correction. I like the title of this, Peace Be Still, because that's a spiritual song, church song. But you got this peace be still and look at your own life, where it's getting out of track. Don't worry about other people's lives. Look at your own life. Look at the own oaths that you have. Perhaps some of you who don't believe in none of that have oaths to the human race. I think at birth, we have social contracts with everybody else on the planet, everybody else in our family. 7 billion cousins that you are played against because a few of your cousins are psychopaths and they own the banking system and the pharmaceutical industry and probably a few others. I think life is just a series of course corrections. We all get off course. That's okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Life gets you busy. The question is, you want to go back and be a person of integrity, beholden to the oaths that you say that you believe and stand for. Liberals, I mean, they stand for liberty, right? That's what it says. Democrats supposed to be for some democracy. I'm not much in democracy, but fair play. Anyway, so yeah, we are going into dark times, but I think that's what you do. wake up. So that's a great thing. We still only learn from dark times, but they don't have to be as dark. All right, she is giving me goosebumps. Oh yeah, she did, Angela. She was off the charts. Let me see. Look, it's from 9/6 something. I mean, looks like it's from 9/6. Okay, the video. Yeah, it was a while. It was 9/6 that she served everybody. So, and I think she get how long did the sister? She gave him 2 weeks. I don't think they care. I don't think they knew what she was talking about. It's like, oath of office. What the hell was that? As a politician, about oath of office. There was one of them? Yeah, they probably gave him like 300 sheets of paper and they signed all of them. Oath of office. You mean, wait a minute, you mean how much lobbyist money I'm supposed to take? Yeah, I know I got an oath to them. You don't have to tell me I know I took the money from pharmaceutical companies. I know I took the money from glyphosate from Monsanto and Bayer. Yeah, I took that money and they said that I'm not supposed to count the cases of people who died of glyphosate. I know. I'm gonna be holding to that oath. I know. I took that money from Cisco and all of the networking companies. I'm not going to let nobody, count the cases of people got DNA damage from 4G, let alone any other G that comes. I took that oath. I know I took the money. I spent the money, bought a house, bought a new mansion, some retirement. Yeah, I know. I'm going to tell the people what they need to hear. I'm going to stick to that oath. I don't think they know what the oath is. But it is where we are. All right, treason, FNA. It is treason, Justin. They murdered 1 million people. Will we hold them accountable? We didn't at 9/11. We didn't with JFK. We didn't at Martin Luther King. We didn't with the USS Liberty. We have not ever held any government accountable for any damn thing ever. We've just picked another side of the corrupt government to do more of it. And we didn't stop to realize that the corporations actually run both sides. All right, we're all freedom fighters. Yes, Angela, and it's a time and place for everything. Right now, fighting is with facts and logic. Why? Because we still got power, water, food, and peaceful areas. That fighting's going to shift to something else, and we don't want that. That's a bad idea. If you can win a war on intellect, win the war on intellect. Win the war on critical thought. Don't win the war with violence, because no violent war has ever been won. The human race loses every war. We're 7 billion different cousins. The law had sand temporarily put in it. Yeah, it did. Well, in 1871, Joanna, they suspended the Constitution and Bill of Rights, created a corporation. That's why we keep repeating it all the time. That was fantastic. Yeah, it was, Tony Paterno. It was fantastic and incredible. Finally, Paul. Yes, absolutely. She was off the hook. Hopefully, we push it into being something. Make people go back, think about their oaths of office. And the federal judge throws it out. Well, and that's the whole point, Justin, right? Because you can take an oath of office at the state level. Doesn't really matter much when the states are bankrupt. The United States Incorporated bankrupted the states for a reason, and it wants us to sue the states for a reason. Because it's an international corporation. The only governments we have left are the states. So they'd love to get rid of local government. But yeah, they're not. Federal judge is an employee. He's a staff. He's not actually a judge. He is literally an employee of the United States Incorporated in a department called the Supreme Court. They literally created a corporation with departments that look just like the Republic to fool everybody. And nothing else. That should be the indicator that this is a scam. Those people are employees, right? The Constitution and Bill of Rights for them is a script. It's a script. They have to do things and make it appear as though they are sticking to those things. But this is why they can violate everybody's rights and they don't have to care. And they can poo-poo right on that whole, you were served and you need to do this for our citizens because we were served, we stand by them. That United States Incorporated, they're only staff. That's why they don't count the votes, because they don't really care who you vote for. Who you vote for means nothing. The lobbyist money determines the laws. All right, but you can't use the same system that they control to fight back. Brother Robert Walker, and that's just common damn sense. You can't go to the mafia to fight the mafia. It's not gonna work. You can't go to the Crips to fight the Crips. You're not gonna go to the Bloods to fight the Bloods. You can't go to Antifa to fight Antifa. You can't go to Black Lives Matter to fight Black Lives Matter. You can't go to White Lives Matter to fight. It should be common sense. But besides the fact those groups believe in what they're doing. That's why the people are in those groups. There's nobody in the United States Incorporated who doesn't believe in the United States Incorporated. This is something we have to do. All right, maybe just in time, turn for the good. Hopefully, Christine, I think so. And today, Thursday, is that Laura you post that? Today's Del Big Tree. Make sure you all support him. He usually comes on, about an hour? Citizens of the USA. are property of a corporation. The rights went to capital. The Act of 1871. Justin Coyer, right on point. If you don't understand what I'm saying, if y'all don't understand what he's talking about, you have no idea how this nation works. And if you are a NATO ally, I guarantee you have a law like this that turns your government into the same thing. All right. Stay well. We need to talk sometime. Oh, Daniel had to go. What, the booty mill? That would be awesome. Sister B and blah, 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 blah. One drug network, also run by the media. Yep, they got the media and the drug network. That's how they make the money. All in cahoots. They must be eradicated. They must, Angela, and only we can do it. Only a global population can do it, because obviously this is a global power. This is not a state problem. This is not a nation problem. This is a global cult, just as David Icke said. I paid for college selling illicit substances, didn't learn anything. Well, Justin, that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. Justin, I tell people all the time, like, they're like, yeah, I tell people, like, you should not have a mass incarceration system. Certainly not one that takes kids for growing seeds. Like, you're supposed to encourage kids to grow seeds, not put them in prison. I say, hey, listen, if I were born and I wanted the opportunity, and the only way I could get it because I don't have access to what other people do, is hell yeah, I'd sell drugs. I'd sell dirt, rocks, plants, coffee. I'd do anything I could. The human being, you're not a human being if you don't. If you really think about it, you're not a human being unless you do what you have to do to survive. Everybody's depending on you. Your parents, your brother, your sister, your kids, whoever you have. It is your obligation to get out there and make sure that they survive. And we're literally encoded to do that with the warrior genes. We are literally encoded to do that. So it's a good thing. And I think you did the right thing. And I'm not telling people to go sell drugs. I'm saying we should not have a system that requires children to do anything that's dangerous. To get an education. How evil is that? Sharing is caring. Yes, Christine, it is. We're going to get that last couple comments and I'm out. The network is proven illegal by the Department of Justice, but they continue because governors are not following the ruling. Nope, they're not, Angela. That's why they got to be sued. They all have to be sued. You have to bring it. You got to bring down the cabal, and don't replace it with another one. Your background music sounds like the intro to Relax. Because you're supposed to relax, Paul Brady. You know me, Paul Bradley, is that your real name? You got so many damn profiles. Supposed to relax. The name of this video is Peace Be Still. It's time to meditate. It's time to breathe in. It's time to be still. Things are going to work out, but they might get a little dark before they work out. Just know on the other side of this, everything is going to be okay. That's why I like peaceful music. I don't listen to love music. That's all I listen to. I sold hot dogs and reindeer sausage at 8. And that's a damn shame, Deanna Lee. We should not have in Oregon. Where are you? In Canada or Oregon? We should not have an Oregon or Canada that forces children to sell reindeer, sausages, and hot dogs. That's just no. Kids are supposed to color. At 8 years old, you're supposed to be playing in the swamp, catching frogs and turtles and snakes and stuff, running from boys and kicking them in the nutsack. That's what y'all supposed to be doing as children. That's what we did. You should not have a world where kids have to respond to bankers and debt-based systems by selling meat and food to other people. That's not selling other creatures. It's carcasses. I know you eat meat. Y'all fine with y'all to eat meat, but the carcasses. You should not have to force children to sell dead things so that they can have money to buy crayons. What kind of evil psychopathic psychosystem did you grow up in? Where are you? United States? Are you in Canada then, or are you in the United States? I think you've been in the United States your whole life. Alaska, something like that. Some criminal plantation. You need to break the chains that's buying the children and selling drugs and dead things. Alaska, that's right. Yeah, that's a shame. Alaska moved forward with that universal basic income, forced the oil companies to pay the people for living there, and they still abuse children, make them selling dead things. That's a damn shame. Damn shame. It doesn't need to be a side. That's right, Beck, it's only one side. It's one side. So Americans, no Briticans, no United Statesicans, no UKicans, no Blackicans, Whiteicans, Christianicans. You've got 7 billion really stupid people that have kept this ignorance going for 3,000 damn years. We're never going to figure this out. We're gonna figure out that these people that can claim authority over you, put you in a face diaper, are not on your side. There are no sides. Leave everybody alone. That's the only side. Leave everybody alone. Everybody's perfect but you. Just work on yourself. Course correct. Leave everybody else alone. Stay true to your own. They're trying to get rid of all types of personalities. Yeah, they are. Who's that? Scrody Burger Balls. Okay, Scrody Burger Balls. That's a good name. I like that name. Scrody. All right, I'm gonna behave. They are, because they don't want people to be individuals. They want people to be clones, right? So they're literally indoctrinating clones. They don't want people to be free. They want people to fit in. That's why you got this whole police PC culture and cancel culture and all this stuff, because they want to make everybody slaves again. And the people who were slaves should know better, and that's everybody. Everybody is slaves. You're a very smart cookie, Lovely. Thank you, Angela. I am not a smart cookie. This is just obvious. It's just obvious. It's just too obvious. See that? I'm not that smart. What did somebody tell me the other day? I said, oh, you're undermining government. It's like, no, I'm not. They do a good job by themselves. They don't need my help. They do not need my help. I don't have any PhDs. They do not need my help. They undermine. They literally undermine themselves in everything they do. All we do is just talk about it. That's all we do. Note to self, wear tight pants in the apocalypse. Yeah, Karen, don't do that. Don't do that. Because, yeah, don't do that. The only men that's going to be left in that apocalypse, Karen, is men that's okay smelling decaying flesh. I don't think you're going to like none of them. I don't think no, those going to be mountain men. It'll be mountain men, people who like fresh oxygen. I think it's only going to be like psychopaths and women. Because women don't give up. It's like that the lady, respect your oath of office. You've been served. Women are fight. Me, hell no. I mean, if it's a grizzly bear, so I'm in nature, I got some fresh oxygen to breathe and stuff. I'm not fighting in no apocalypse where you got zombies and somebody's insides is falling out and I'm fighting. No, zombies don't pull their pants up. They don't fix their zippers. I'm out there fighting a bunch of men that's got just tallyknockers hanging out and scroties. Scrody Balkans. Is he still here? No. You're going to be here with Bobo and no, you're going to be here with Jive and Bowden and Trump and Putin. All the rest of them, they ain't got no sense of themselves. All right, that's going to get me in trouble. I got to go. Lady Earth stood still. Thank you, Susan Jewell. That's exactly how it worked out. Hey, nice tattoo, by the way, Susan Jewell. Susan Jewell got a tattoo, y'all. Real nice. No way I'm doing that. That looked like that hurt. That's what, and this goes with the point. Women can do pain, men cannot. Women can do pain, men cannot. No. We do not have things to birth 6, 7, and 8, 9, 10 pound babies from. Nope, don't do no pain. Not gonna happen. The only time we do pain is when women are getting hurt. Yeah, we can do some pain. We return red like the lady on them bleachers. We'll turn red. We'll see red. We'll do what we gotta do. And after that, we need somebody to take care of our boo-boos. All right. Gotta go. Your word is your bond. You shouldn't have taken an oath. That's it, Susan. But people can reclaim those bonds. People can relate. We have to make space for people to reclaim their bonds. NSA, Homeland Security, police, POPO, FBI, everybody, y'all took those office to us, politicians, any of y'all started to get it. We need y'all to stand up. It's gonna get dark. And when it gets dark, we're gonna find y'all first. That's the problem with being a public figure. You know your address is in public. Like, this is why you should respect your oath of office, because when it gets dark, I know it's a whole, you don't want people to hate you when it gets dark. When it gets dark and the police are truly defunding, the police gonna defund themselves, like, you know what? Yeah, we ain't doing that. We're gonna go home. We're gonna go home and protect, I got kids at home. Police gonna go home and protect their kids. What do you think is gonna happen when it gets dark in America? All right, your address is public. If you took an oath of office, you might want to stick with it. Unless you're the CIA. The CIA, they don't really care. They do kung fu, watch fu. They got all kinds of weapons and stuff. They can kill everybody that comes to their house. Special forces, they're fine. Anybody took oath of office that goes to the gym. Anybody took an oath of office that eats bagels in the morning and writes legislation. You need to be worried. All right, you fell asleep getting attacked. Whoa, yeah, I know. That's what you see. Patricia and Susan having that conversation. That tells me either one of two things. Susan is a psychopath, Or she's a woman. She has the ability for that level of pain tolerance. No, men, we would know. I know men. I know a whole bunch of men. Every time they got a tattoo, they cried, they asked for mama, they screamed, they posted pictures how horrible it felt and had tears in their eyes, and Susan posted pictures smiling in a chair with a damn wolf and all kind of blood oozing out. Anyway, there you go. This is Gerard. Love y'all to death. Y'all have a great day. Peace be still. Be still. Be still. Sit down somewhere. Be still. Hold your chair from flying away, as a wise man once told.